The airport was alive with the usual rhythm of travel. Luggage wheels clattered against polished floors. Boarding announcements echoed through speakers, and weary travelers stood in line for coffee, passports clutched in their hands. It was just another ordinary day, filled with the noise of departures and arrivals, until it wasn't. Suddenly, a bark tore through the air like thunder splitting the calm sky. It wasn't the playful bark of a pet, but the sharp, commanding sound of a trained K9. Every head snapped toward the noise. In that instant, time seemed to slow. A German shepherd, muscles tense and eyes locked, broke free from his handler's grip and bolted forward with terrifying speed. The target? A man walking calmly toward the boarding gate, his ticket in hand. He had the look of an ordinary traveler, neatly dressed, quiet, unassuming. No one gave him a second glance until the dog lunged. The man's eyes widened in horror. His suitcase toppled from his hand, spilling clothes across the floor, as the dog's growls echoed off the glass walls. The German shepherd leapt, jaws snapping open, heading straight for his face. Chaos ignited. Children screamed and clung to their parents. A woman dropped her phone, frozen in disbelief. Security shouted commands, but no one moved fast enough. Within seconds, the terminal had turned from orderly to frantic, with people scrambling to understand what they were witnessing. But what happened next silenced even the loudest cries. As the K9's teeth tore into the man's cheek, something strange happened. Something no one could have imagined. A thin layer of material peeled away, ripping like old paper. Gasps filled the air. This wasn't an ordinary attack. The man's skin wasn't skin at all. Beneath the torn disguise was another face entirely, wrinkled, gaunt, but unmistakable to those who remembered. For a moment, the terminal froze in eerie silence. And then came the realization. This wasn't just anyone. This was Daniel Hayes. A decade ago, Daniel Hayes had been a name that flooded newspapers and television screens. He'd been a respected businessman, known for his charm and success until an investigation revealed the truth. Daniel had orchestrated one of the largest financial frauds in the city's history. Families had lost everything, their homes, their savings, their futures. But before the law could catch him, Daniel vanished. For 10 years, no trace. Some believed he had fled overseas, others whispered he was dead. But here he was, standing in the middle of an airport, his false identity ripped away, not by human hands, but by the instincts of a dog. The crowd murmured, voices trembling. Some were furious, recognizing the man who had caused so much suffering. Others were simply stunned, unable to process the scene unfolding before them. And among them all, one figure stood still, Officer Michael Carter, the handler of the German shepherd named Rex. For Michael, this moment was personal. 10 years earlier, he'd been part of the search team assigned to the Hayes case. He remembered the nights spent combing through files, chasing dead-end leads, and meeting with families whose lives had been shattered. He remembered the tears of mothers and fathers, the hopelessness in their eyes, and he remembered bringing a young Rex, barely out of training, to the search sites, hoping the pup's nose could uncover what humans could not. But time had passed. The case had gone cold. Michael had moved on to other duties, though the scars of failure remained. He had always believed Hayes had gotten away with everything. Until now, Rex hadn't forgotten. Somehow, through years of new cases and countless scents, the dog's memory had clung to the trace of Daniel Hayes, and now, as if fate had orchestrated their reunion, Rex had completed the work he had started as a pup. As officers swarmed Daniel and clamped handcuffs on his wrists, Michael dropped to one knee beside Rex. The dog's body trembled, not from fear, but from the adrenaline of duty fulfilled. Michael stroked his fur, whispering words no one else could hear. In that moment, he realized something profound. Humans lie, hide, and wear masks, sometimes literally, but animals carry within them an unshakable truth. Rex hadn't just stopped a criminal. He had reminded everyone of the enduring power of loyalty and instinct. News spread like wildfire. Videos of Rex lunging at Daniel's mask hit every corner of social media. Headlines praised the hero dog who solved a decade-old mystery. Across the nation, people debated crime, justice, and the astonishing abilities of canines. But for Michael, it wasn't just about glory. It was about closure. For the families who had lost so much, Rex had given them an unexpected gift. Justice, even if delayed, had finally arrived. And beneath it all was a truth few could ignore. Years ago, when Rex was just a pup, he had been part of something unfinished. Most would have forgotten. But not him. His loyalty stretched beyond time. He had remembered a scent, a trace of a promise left incomplete. And when destiny placed him back in Daniel's path, he did not hesitate. Michael often wondered why humans gave up so quickly, while animals held on with such unbreakable devotion. The answer was simple. Dogs love without limits. Their loyalty isn't bound by years or convenience. It endures, even when we don't deserve it. For Daniel, capture marked the end of a decade spent in shadows. For Michael, it was the closing of a chapter that had haunted him. But for Rex, it was just another day of fulfilling his purpose. Not for applause, not for headlines, but because doing what's right is in his very nature. The story didn't just end with justice. It ended with a reminder. Sometimes the most powerful guardians are not those with badges, titles, or authority, but those who walk beside us on four legs. In a world where lies can last for years, a single bark of truth can tear through the silence and reveal everything. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the incredible loyalty animals give us and the second chances life sometimes offers, then please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Your support helps us keep these real, emotional, and inspiring stories alive for people around the world. And before you go, we leave you with one request. Comment below and tell us, what does loyalty mean to you? Because sometimes the simplest answers carry the deepest truths.